Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the English coverage of the Dota 2 Professional League group stages. We are going to get started now with a best of two between Vici and Wings, some of the best seeded teams in China, perhaps the world, and they're going head to head here in this best of two. I am so excited to get into this draft, get into the action, and I'm going to be your caster, Annie, aka Android, and I am being joined by Mad Kings. What's up, man?
Hello, and what's up? I'm looking forward to this best of two, man. It's some good teams playing, and some good teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we have got crazy players, crazy teams. I want to see some crazy drafts, but I think we're sticking with what's known here. Venge Tide, great positioning tools by Vici. Having the threat of the swap, the threat of the Ravage gives a lot of control, a lot of team fight potential, and Wings, they're gonna sit back. They pick up the Lion first, a great utility support to have, and Darkseer here, he's gonna control the lane there with the Ion Shells, and I am so hoping to see some crazy vacuum walls here from Faith Beyond.
Yeah, Darkseid, we have seen in the late days that Darkseid has been one of those huge playmakers, being able to turn fights around all the time. And as you said, the Lion, it is kind of one of those like Chinese flavored picks that they always want to pick these support heroes early. It is a very great hero. People play very well in the Chinese scene overall, so it's good. And Vici Gaming going for the picks that they have been tending to go for lately, with the Titan in the offlane played by RTK and Vengeful Burning. Their lineup is usually like they're picking around the same heroes if they're allowed to lately, whereas Wings is probably going to be the ones bringing some kind of flavored picks, picking something you do not expect.
Yeah, I mean, they've been known to bring out some crazy heroes here, and, I'm hoping to see maybe an interesting core that we haven't seen in a while. There's actually going to be a Drow ban from Wings. Vici, they tried to get away with that Drow strat once this tournament already, and with the Vengeful Spirit pickup, it is risky. Vengeful Spirit ends up doing a lot of damage there with the Precision Aura, so just nullifying that potential, and now Vici, they do have this lineup open. They could grab a mid-invoker, I think, could be a really, really nice pick for them.
Yeah, like you said, they have the Vengeful Spirit, which gives that range boost and it gives the damage boost overall. The Drow range is an obvious ban because it is one of Vici Gaming's go-to strategies, going for the Drow strat. Mid-wise, they have a lot of options. When you think about CTY, you usually think about something like the Queen of Pain. Invoker could be an option as well. Would be some nice control, some nice push as well. Especially when you have this kind of tight-handed beefy hero going in front, you want to have someone who can sit in the back and get some good fights started. The Titan or Ravage with the Sunstrike could be a pretty good combo as well. So it could make sense to pick that up.
All right, and I'm assuming this is going to be an offlane tide, as it is just super, super survivable. You put 1 point in that Kraken shell to start things off, and there's really nothing anyone can do to harass you back. And well, Wings, they're going to need to pick up a mid here, another support, a core. What do you think jives well with the teamfight control of the Darkseer and the utility of the Lion?
Usually you would go for some beefy kind of carry who can do a lot of damage in that little vacuum time. The Sven is one of the biggest go-to heroes. Now
Oh,
picking up the Lone Fruit may be okay, so I guess it's gonna be a call Lone Fruit. Not something I actually would expect. It's a strong hero. It's good against the Nature's Prophet, good against the Titan as well. In the laning stage, the Titan is not really gonna be able to harass him too much. Even though the Titan is very tanky, so it's hard to kill him as well, and the other way around. And Nature's Prophet safe lane by Vici Gaming, another hero that they go to a lot in the safe lane position, because like Vici Gaming, when you think about it, they're this kind of like tempo control, want to be in your face in the early to mid game situations, and we're gonna see just that with the Nature's Prophet safe lane.
yeah, I mean, it could also be a Prophet jungle, and I mean, cliff jungling Prophet. It's real. We've seen it in this tournament so far. But I think Fiji Gaming, they definitely have a plan here, and they do actually have a lot of global potential now. Vengeful Spirit, again, very powerful with those positioning tools, and the Batrider picked up as well. So Vici have the option to go in, grab someone up with the lasso, rotate in the next Prophet, but okay, we have a Legion on the field. I am so excited for Wings right here. They're going with some unconventional picks. Is this going to be a mid Druid?
Um, I'm actually a little bit surprised here. The Legion Commander seems pretty good against the Batrider, because Batrider being picked up usually puts a lot of money in this kind of initiation tool. Legion Commander very tanky, so if you go on him, it's hard to kill him, and you have that press the attack so you can take away the lasso. And as for which position they're gonna play, I think it's actually potentially gonna be a Legion mid or even a Legion offlane against the Nature's Prophet. They actually have a lot of different ways they can play this round, and it's like we talked about the Wings. They have these uncontroversial drafts, and it's looking interesting.
Alright, so Vici Gaming here, now going into the last pick, the Lifestealer banned out against them, and I like that here, because we do see the combination of Lifestealer Batrider so often. Just pop the Lifestealer inside of the Batrider, go in, get a pick, plop on out, and there's so much damage going on to the lasso target, but they're gonna have to pick up something else here. Now, what big ol' core is gonna combo here on Vici Gaming?
I think they're gonna go for something very, very tanky, something like a Sven, because of the Legion Commander mostly. Like if you go for a hero like let's say a Slug or something, the Lone Druid is decent against him. The Legion Commander, when you get duels off onto like less tanky heroes, it's a little bit tricky to pull off. So like a Juggernaut or Sven, something that can sustain a little bit, or at least has an easy way of dodging around these spells, dodging the engagements from the Darkseer and the Lion. So either the Jug or the Sven is like my money being put on. But Vici Gaming could also easily go for something a little bit more aggressive, but or have the Nature's Prophet in the safe lane like we talked about earlier.
Alright, so Wings are most likely going to pick themselves up as secondary support. I would like to see the Oracle. I think the Oracle... Okay.
Denied?
Support Druid? Legion? They're just free core lineup?
I think this is looking like max greed. I guess either the Lone Druid or the Legion is actually going to be jungling, or maybe they're going to do something dual lane. Like they could dual lane the Darkseer with the Legion Commander as well, but it shouts for a lot of greed. This is like, this is Wings Gaming going for something very, very fishy, something very greedy. Both the Luna, the Lone Druid, and the Legion being on the field, all three here, well, at least the Lone Druid and the Luna, both heroes need a lot of farm. They need a lot of space to be able to work with, and I don't know, man. It's looking interesting, but I'm not sure if it's just a little tad too greedy for my taste, actually.
Yeah, I think the greed is super, super real, and that puts a lot of pressure on Lion. Lion likes to be able to pick up items like an Ether Lens, but he's going to be forced to go for wards and dusts and smokes, and he's really not going to be able to get any luxury items till very late in the game. Certainly no Ags in the horizon, and this is just super, super greedy. I'm really looking forward to what Wings do with it, but it's going to be boom or bust. There's no in between. This either snowballs out of control in the late game, or Vici have incredible tools to deal with it.
Yeah, Vici, they already have a lot of push power. They have a decent teamfight lineup with the Titan, with the Batrider Lasso, and now with the CTY Weaver. We saw that in the last series, I believe, where he played that Weaver in the mid lane. And they don't have a lot of control apart from the Lion to be able to actually deal with him, so I like the Weaver a lot here. It's one of those situations where, okay, you have one hero you have to worry about, and everything else you can just run around and do whatever you want. So, yeah, Weaver's looking pretty good.
So I'm just really struggling to see how Wings actually get this lineup off the ground, because there's only so much space on the Radiant side of the map. I guess they can send like the Druid into the Dire jungle at some points, but Vici are going to keep an eye on that, so we'll have to see what goes down here as we are going to go ahead, introduce ourselves into the action. Again, this is a best of 2 series in the Dota 2 Professional League group stages. I'm your caster Annie, that's Mad Kings, our little Twitter handles are over there on the right hand side, and now that the sellouts are over, we can go ahead and introduce the teams here. On the side of Wings, on the Radiant, we've got Innocence playing up this position 5 Lion. It's going to be Legion Commander on that, I guess, jungling role as he picks up a Iron Talon. Ice is going to be on the Luna. Down here, we are going to have Shadow on the Lone Druid. And finally, up here, spinning around, we are going to have Faith Beyond on the off-lane Darkseer. How's Vici looking?
Alright, on the side of Vici, we have CTY on the Weaver, most likely going to be in the mid lane. We have Burning playing his Vengeful Spirit. Even though he's in the carry play, he's still playing that hero. And HROM on the Batrider in the mid lane. We have RTK on the Tidehunter in the off lane. We have Psylocke playing the Nature's Prophet, and you know, safe lane Nature's Prophet is usually a wonder to see.
Alright, so both of these teams going for very greedy drafts that require a lot of levels to really get online, and we're going to see what's going to happen here, as there will be a little bit of pressure here. Darkseer not going to go for that rune. It is going to be a 1-1 split. Batrider grabs it up on the side of the Dire. Going to be going mid on that, and it looks like Shadow grabs it up for the Radiant. This is just going to be very interesting lanes. We are going to have Legion Commander jungling up. Shadow's going to be taking out the mid here. A lot of pressure here with the Bear, but up against the Batrider, I think they have the tools to deal with this.
It looks like Vici Gaming is actually like matching the greed of Wings by sending the Nature's Prophet into the jungle as well. Both heroes pretty much jungling at more or less the same speed, with the Iron Talon from the Nature's Prophet from the Legion Commander, sorry, will make him able to farm fast, and obviously Nature's Prophet a great jungle as well. So both teams being pretty greedy right now. So the first like laning stage situation should be much focused on just farming and not so much on rotating around. But in the mid game situation, we should be seeing some great action once the ultimates come on off cooldown, get ready, and all that stuff.
Alright, so just something to point out here. These are two of the highest rated teams in the world. They're going to be executing a Jungle Legion. Please don't try this at home.
And it's not something where you're like, oh, you see this in this game, and then you're like, oh, I'll do this in all my ranked games. It must be working.
Yeah, it's a very situational draft, and again, Wings are either going to get it completely offline, snowball up, early kills, lots of farm, or they just starve, because it's just so much here now. We are going to see Shadow taking 6 stacks of the Napalm. That's going to be really unfortunate. The Batrider doing a great job harassing back, sitting at 7 last hits, highest on the chart, and Lone Druid only able to pick up 4, but doing some good work denying on the bear.
Him actually also has the 5 flaw ready. He doesn't know that Shadow hasn't skilled up his Savage Roar, which is probably the reason why he doesn't try to go on it, because when you have that many stacks on him, you could actually kill him. But always thinking about that value point in the Savage Roar, which is usually the way you can survive against the Batrider when he goes to that kind of initiation. In the mid lane situation, though, we're probably not going to see too much action, though, because Batrider is the only one with insane kill potential with the Napalm stacks and with the Savage Roar ready. Once he skills it up, it's just not reliable that you're going to be able to get that kill.
Up top, we do have Faith Beyond taking a lot of damage. There will be a TP in from the Prophet, goes in with the Sprout. We do have the missile already committed onto Burning, so no more lockdown, but the first blood is able to be committed from CTY. He uses up those little Germinate attacks and gets 2 hits for the price of 1, and that's going to be a dead Darkseer. And, you pick up Darkseer because you want him to be safe in lane, but I'm not so sure Faith Beyond likes that as a playstyle. He likes to be in, he likes to be up in your face harassing, and hopefully that's going to be a fluke and no more blood spilled from the Darkseer, but who knows, that could be where Vici are going to start to get their advantage.
Yeah, Darkseer is one of the heroes they can try and catch, especially with the Nature's Prophet with the early level in the Sprout, so he doesn't have that surge to be able to get away. And you saw Sylar just, already from the start going for this tempo control style that Vici Gaming loves to play, just being in your face, trying to get rotations done early and trying to get kills done, and just, outmanning the enemy team. And Darkseer is probably going to be the target most of the time, as Lone Druid is a very, very hard hero to gank. And in the bottom lane, you just have too many heroes who can rotate in. The Luna's a ranged hero, so you need to go pretty deep to be able to even jump her. So, focus on the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, again, Darkseer playing up very, very heavily is going to go through with a Surge away. They do have the missile, but don't want to spend it up as it's a lot of mana for the early Vengeful Spirit. So, again, back to the mid lane. Shadow having a difficult time getting all the way up, only having 14 last hits, and it looks like the bear may go down. That's a huge bounty if the Batrider can get it. Now, that's a lot of money going the way of HYM, and he's going to be able to pick up his next big item relatively soon. It could be a straight Blink Rush, and I think that's going to be the play to get the initiation online for Vici and start locking down these very greedy cores on the side of Wings.
Yeah, I love the Blink Rush very much, and he's actually going to drop down his balls to the Nature's Prophet so that Sylar can pick up the rune form, because he's just going to go in and stack a little bit. The Nature's Prophet could actually also be working as some kind of TP tool, TP back to the base, fill up the bottle, and come back in. I'm not sure if that was the plan, but he is going to give the bottle to him. And the Blink Rush, I agree with you, that is something that I expect the Batrider to do, and I hope he's going to do, because they really just need to be able to catch the Wings off guard. They need to be able to make the jumps, they need to be able to set the fights in motion, and not just let the Wings counterattack in a hurry and let them have what they want.
Alright, so there is going to be an invis rotation in from Innocence. They do see that Nature's Prophet is here. They want to go into Sylar, but Sylar is sticking safe. He, again, does have that Sprout as a nice zoning tool if he needs it. He's going to be soaking up some nice XP, but he's still super poor. And, well, hasn't picked up even just boots yet. The rotation around. The Lion wants to go with the Earth Spike. How deep can they dive this? We're about to find out as the bear goes on through. There is going to be a dire creep wave coming in, so they have to go. They do get the Earth Spike. The bear munching him up. They get the Hex as well. Can they get a Root Proc? Now it looks like HYM will end up zoning back the Lone Druid, and, I mean, that Prophet gets a little bit of a spook, but he's going to be completely fine. Take a look at our overall last hitters. We have our Jungle Legion actually leading up the last hit chart. The Iron Talon putting in some work. She's going to save up for an immediate Blink Dagger.
Yeah, Iron Talon is a strong item. He actually has Ground Boost right now, and I suspect he's going to go for that Blink Rush like we talked about. He's going to have it at a reasonable time, because they don't really have any way of shutting him down from the side of Vici, as they are going for the counter greed strategy. And they have to go pretty deep in the mid lane. Trying to go on the Nature's Prophet didn't really work out, but Root doesn't always favor you.
Well, they do get a Root Block here onto the Batrider, but again, he has an empty bottle, but he's got a lot of gold and doesn't want to end up feeding away. He's out of mana, so we'll see if he wants to bottle Crow or just flat back to base, and I think that's the play, as he can easily afford that TP scroll. Now up top, CTY has been getting a lot of farm here on the Weaver, 33 last hits, but similar story on the Luna, as there has been virtually no pressure in this offlane from the Dire.
Yeah, they are having a good time. RTK, he's having fun just jungling up. He is not having too many levels to work with, but at least he's not getting pressured too much. He is going to be able to get his stacks up. He's going to be able to take the farm up. Even though the Darkseid has been shut down a little bit, has been killed, he's still ahead of the Titan, so he's doing well in that regard. Also getting a little bit more last hits. Not much yet, though. It is only 6 last hits ahead, but level-wise, he's having a fun time.
Yeah, and this is a very passive game so far. The only blood was, a big rotation coming through, and up top it took a lot to get the Darkseer down. The Darkseer has played safe since then. He hasn't been pushed up as much, and, Faith Beyond, he loves himself a Beastmaster to get in there and shout at people's faces, but the Darkseer, he has to sit back and cool it until level 7 or 8 when he can team fight, so Wings playing safe, farming up the cores. They've now brought the Jungle Legion into lane. She has her level 6. She wants to find picks, and are they going to dive deep for this one? I don't know if they can take a tower shot, but they're going to start things off with that Lucent Beam. Just letting to zone out the Tide for now. Tide Hunter, he's not going to be a big enough level to go in with that Ravage. Still only level 4.5, but they will rotate in the Vengeful Spirit, so they might have a little bit of lockdown there with the missile.
Both teams, they're just trying to play it out. They're just trying to wait because both teams have these item timings they're waiting on before they can go aggressive. We have the Bad Rider getting close to his Blink Dagger. He needs around 500 more gold. Legion Commander is much in a similar state. He also needs a Blink Dagger. He has it soon. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to be able to see that both teams going for some smoke plays, going for some rotations. And before that happens, we can see Wings just really wanted to take this tower, just trying to secure it as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, they're really getting up in here. Usually you want to see a Luna stay at Creeprilibrium, but with a lineup as greedy as Wings, they need as much map space as they can get. So pushing in this early tower just does open up this little bit of Rat Mode Chase. Now Ice looking through, maybe looking for that Lucent Beam, but doesn't want to overstay her welcome here. The Luna, now the last hit leader, if we switch over to net worth, she's actually hanging kind of low, but these top 5 spots are virtually even. A couple more minutes in the wave, and we're going to see who the real leaders are.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to those blink initiations and who's going to get the first jump, who's going to get the first kills, and who's going to set the pace of the game off of that. As the Legion Commander and the Bad Rider is going to be the 2 heroes, one from each side, so that you need to keep an eye on and see what they're going to do.
Alright, so Darkseer back to farming here. He has opted to go for the wall without a point in the vacuum. That's a bit peculiar. Why would he do that?
That's very interesting, like you said. It is, I guess, because of the Legion Commander's duel that you don't really need the vacuum to set anything up. If you can get a duel off and just use a wall on top of the person, you at least get that illusionary damage just to maybe secure the duel a little bit easier. I don't really know what else I would expect other than that reason. So that's pretty much all I can imagine.
Alright, so our top net worth leader is actually going to be the Druid, who did drop a bear to the Bat Rider, has had some difficulty getting up into the wave because of the sticky napalm stacks, but he's got some items here going. He does pick up the Midas onto the bear. Are we going to see the Radiance build, or something a little bit more unusual for the mid-Druid?
It is probably going to be the Radiance build. It's like always going to happen that you go for Midas Radiance, and then after that maybe you see some variations, but not before that. And now in the top lane, actually the Darkseid will be the first victim to the Blink Dagger initiation from the Bad Rider, getting a smoke gank off there. We'll get a kill there. And meanwhile we have Sylar picking up the Midas and this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, there's so much going down. That was a dual win for the Legion Commander as well. She now has 10 extra victories going her way. Definitely a nice debut of the Blink Dagger. It didn't take the Eclipse as well, so there is still push power. If Vici, they're not going to rotate for this tier 2, they may have to just let the Luna have at least some pressure in this lane. Now up top, there is going to be a nice rotation in. 3 heroes committing for this tier 1, but harass onto a tier 2 for a tier 1 might not be the trade. As Darkseer is going to go through. They don't have the lasso on the bat. Now there is going to be a rotation in from the Lion, just a little bit more bodies. And we're going to see if there's going to be a jump as you bring in the lone Druid. Okay, a aggressive blink in. They get the Earth Spike onto HYM. HYM running away is going to get hexed up. Is there going to be a root proc? They don't even need it. They got the damage there with the right click. And Darkseer's Ion Shell Harass will be enough to secure a return kill on the bat. So kills all around the map now. And that's going to be some clean gold going into Wings' gaming favor.
Yeah, well, it's looking pretty good for Vici Gaming, getting that tower, not really losing anything. They only got a little bit of damage done to the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, but obviously the aggressive blink there for Bad Rider, I guess he expected less people to be there than what was the case, but not really worth it going that deep, and he's gonna get punished for it. A little bit unusual, I guess, but And meanwhile, Shadow in the mid lane getting a lot of space as he's getting very close to that Radiance timing. He has 1600 gold banked up at 10 minutes. So it's looking like a pretty fast farm game for him.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle early on. Now up top we are going to have the bugs going through, and Nature's Prophet commits that Wrath of Nature to get off the kill onto the Darkseer. I mean, they had the kill either way. What's the benefit of giving it to the Prophet at this point?
I actually don't know. I think he just tried to use the ulti he used it a little bit before that fight started, and then like it slowly bounced up to the top lane. I don't know. I don't think they actually tried to secure it for the Prophet there. But either way, I mean, Prophet he's farming a lot, so I guess he could get some early items on. He does have the Midas up, and most likely gonna be going for like the right-clicky Nature's Prophet build together with the Weaver. Maybe something like a mech drums as well could be the case to be a little bit more team fighted with them.
Speaking of team fight, we do have a nice smoke up here. They are going to have that Legion wanting to go in. Gets the duel onto the Tidehunter, a very tanky target, but they do have the lockdown to secure it. They end up dumping out the Eclipse as well, but they get the Tidehunter, they get more dual damage onto the Legion. She's already at 20 extra damage, and now they are going to go through. They get some nice mana drain onto the Bat, and now he's going to be having a difficult time finding that lasso. Still on cooldown for 20 seconds over here in the river. Darkseer will end up being a damage sponge, tries to run away with the Surge. It's going to come off cooldown in 3 seconds. Can he get it off? Oh, the Weaver going to be going back through. The wall is dumped out, and there's no vacuum to combo with it. The Weaver ends up getting completely away for free, pops into that time-lapse form, and back to farming. So Darkseer traded off for some damage in the mid for a Legion Commander duel is still pretty good for Wings.
Yeah, it's still pretty good. They're getting a little bit more out of each trade. Both teams going for these like one pick-off kind of strategies. Wings so far getting a little bit more out of it as they are getting the dual damage, like you said, which is obviously also always something you need to worry about as it is slowly building up, and then he starts doing a lot of damage. Like at some point, he will just be able to like solo duel and kill anyone. So you need to not let it go too much out of hand. And now he has double damage, and the top is going to go for the duel as well. And CTY taking a lot of damage.
Oh, the Savage Roar! Okay, so CTY ends up getting away there. Isn't that Sakuchi form? And, oh, okay, just gonna be walking on through. So maybe a bit of miscommunication. They needed just one more component of lockdown. So, yeah, well, Weaver gets off with a Stern Lashing. Either way, is going to go immediately for that Lincoln Sphere. And I like that pickup on top of the Aquila. Not even boots for the Weaver, though. I wish brown boots were there.
Not having boots is actually something you can opt to go for the Weaver because of the Sakuchi form giving you max movement speed. It's obviously something that's a little bit fishy, but I think it's just because he wants to have the Lincoln Sphere as fast as possible in this game, not letting the duels come too often. He almost got killed there, pretty much solo by the Legion Commander, obviously a little bit because of the double damage being there, but if he can get an early Lincoln Sphere, he's going to be able to go in a little bit more aggressive and not worry too much about being punished for him.
Alright, now we have a rotation through Burning, looking for something, wants to show off that stun swap combo, and they do now have the Blink Lasso online. We're gonna see who they come on. Who do they bring for damage here? They've got the Prophet, who looks like he may end up going for that right-clicky build like you talked about, but it's gonna be hard to find Radiant off by themselves, as, you know, they do have a greedy lineup, but they're sticking with the buddy system, always bringing in a support for their cores.
Yeah, and arguably they're the one. Vici Gaming is the ones that are on a timing because they know Lone Grid is farming very, very fast right now. They know he's getting close to this relic. He's gonna have it up in 200 gold, so they really want to find him. He's the target they're looking for. They're not gonna be able to find anyone, and I mean, whenever time goes by, whenever these like 1-for-1 trades happen, it always favors Wings because they have this like insanely greedy lineup. And once they have that Radiance timing on the Lone Grid up and running, then it's going to be Wings setting the pace, and it's going to be them being in your face of Vici Gaming. They're already getting more objectives taken from the towers, and every time one kill happens on one side, the other team gets a kill as well, which is kind of favoring Wings as well, in a way.
Yeah, and we're 14 minutes in, and the Legion Commander has actually kept up in terms of net worth. She's going to be 5th on the chart. She is going to be going for the Robe of the Magi, so is this going to be... Yeah, it's just going to be a simple Blade Mail. I was thinking something real fancy like a Silence for the Weaver, but no, she needs that extra bit of damage to go in for the duels, and it's going to be pretty successful, but Vici, they've had their eyes on bigger targets here. The Roshan will be melting down at 14 minutes in. It's going to go the way of the Weaver, so CTY essentially has 3 lives there with the time-lapse and the Aegis.
Yeah, that's the Weaver is going to be super aggressive right now. CTY is going to just be in your face because, like we talked about with the Lincoln Sphere, with the time-lapse, with the Aegis, he's not going to be dropping down easily. And
okay, there's going to be an initiate on both sides. They've got the stun, they got the arrow. Okay, there's going to be an Echo or Ravage into Eclipse, and now everything's going to hell as Batrider drags on through. There's going to be a wall out. It's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to be Darkseer lying down on the side of Wings and only losing the Venge on the side of Vici. They're looking for more. They will end up burning down the Legion Commander with a Firefly on the Batrider. So now Vici have busted themselves open a window to go in and push this tower, make up some of that gold. They've got themselves a kill lead, and that was pretty important. Over 1,000 gold swing in their favor. XP about 2,500.
Yeah, that was very interesting from Wings because they found the Titan being up there in high ground, and then they decided to go for that fight, thinking they could kill him off, seeing that CTY was in the mid lane. So I guess they expected them to not be gathered full force. But at this point, Vici Gaming is on that timing. They are very strong right now, having the Aegis up. That was the Titan with the mech timing, with the Ravage being used for the first time. So that was a big fight for Vici Gaming that they very much needed, and I feel like Wings did not need to take that fight. They didn't have the Radiance up, it's still off for another 500 gold, and this is leaving a lot of room for Vici Gaming to go for these pushes.
Yeah, Vici, they go ahead, they grab 2 towers off the back of that fight, and that's a real power spike coming out. The Weaver, notably, is at the top of the net worth graph, surpassing the lone Druid that was mid and picked up an early Midas, and Weaver's going to be going straight Lincolns into a Deso, and that's going to further rip apart the tanky heroes of Wings, rip apart these towers, and is this Vici starting on an unstoppable snowball, or is this Wings just not quite coming online yet?
Alright, actually Wings is looking to go for a little bit of a mid-game build as Luna is going to pick up the Aghanim Scepter. That's interesting. So, you know, boosting up the ultimate, that is...
Golly.
I mean, we talked about the greed, and now it's not falling out of control, even building something we don't expect, so that's going to be nice to see.
I'm gonna see if they want to go in the Batrider here. They don't quite have vision. Batrider desperately wants to contest this, but does just give, again, really good vision of the Ancient Pit. Gonna be flapping on around and enjoying the most out of that Invis rune, and he's gonna go for the Force Staff. No surprises there, just going for the Ultra Mobility. Oh, Faith Beyond is gonna be the pick. He's got the lasso, and there is gonna be follow-up damage as well. He's gonna be dragging the Dark Seer against his will up near the river, and they do have the Weaver to go through and follow up the Surge. Not gonna keep you safe for now. The Bug sprayed out. They will get the kill. Batrider taking the credit for that one, but mid lane, a duel here onto Burning. There's not much Venge can do about it. Can he outlive it? No. Is gonna go down to the Legion. That's Legion's 3rd duel win. They're gonna TP and Sylar, get the Sprout here onto Legion Commander. She eats her way through with the Quelling Blade. They're gonna be going through. They get the Batrider in Innocence. He's running away. He wants to go for something. He tries to go for the Hex onto Weaver, but CTY blocks it with the Lincoln Sphere, and now the Blade Mail on the Legion will expire. One more hit should do it. CTY is unstoppable. They're looking for the cleanup onto ROTK, but he's super duper tanky. Now the Eclipse just completely bust down the Prophet, bust down the Tidehunter. Now they're looking for more. What a bloody fight so far. Time lapse back from the Weaver. The Lincolns is popped. Again, they do have the Aegis, so it's not detrimental, but if CTY goes down once, there's a good chance they go down twice, and they, oh, Finger of Death going on through. The Aegis is going to pop. Do they have vision for the Scoochie? And looks like they're going to go through. The Scoochie will come out, and there's no way they catch that out, and even if they do, Burning's there with that swap stun combo. So it's going to be the disengage of the fight there, but Vici, they lost a lot. They did trade out the Legion Commander, but Legion started that fight with the duel win.
Yeah, Vici Gaming really tried to force that, but when they saw the Radiance being up, knowing that the Tidehunter's Ravage was still on cooldown, I think they should have realized that that was not going to be an easy fight to take, and Wings showing off that fancy new Acronyms with the Acronyms on the Lone Druid Spare. Just, you know, Bear with Acronyms from with Eclipse being popped on and killing 2 people in like, what, a second or 2? That's going to be a new meme for sure. That's interesting to see.
Oh man, so basically what Wings are trying to do is screw up your pubs for the next month with Jungle Legion and Luna Ags, but they're doing it. They're getting the kills. They got a full wipe onto Vici, but the kill score, the net worth, is still very back and forth. We haven't actually surpassed more than 3,500 gold in either favor, so tower pushes, Roshan kills, little pickoffs here and there are going to really make the difference here, and if this goes ultra late, you gotta favor Wings' lineup, but there's only so much farm they can get around the map at this point.
Yeah, so far it is definitely Wings being a little bit further ahead. They are pretty much maxing out their farmers. They're just like taking everything in seconds, with this Radiance being up, with the Luna farming very fast in the jungle as well. Vici Gaming, so far they're keeping up. They are still waiting for the next core items to come out. For example, RTK getting to that Blink Dagger ready so he can get an initiation done as well. But at some point, Wings is gonna just start spiking ahead with their lineup, as they just have a faster farming lineup. They have stronger cores in the late game. So Vici Gaming, they need to make these like huge smoke plays around the Tidehunter's Ravage. He does have it up now, so I'm not surprised if they're gonna go for some kind of counterplay when they see Wings pushing in the bottom lane here.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to point out that Tidehunter doesn't go straight for the Blink, and that's a build we're seeing more and more. I'm not sure if it's specifically in this tournament, in this Chinese team league, but Tidehunter, he feels safe and tanky enough just waddling on in, his watermelon self going through, walking in, casting the Ravage, and doesn't necessarily need the Blink initiation, at least not for the first 30 minutes or so, so having that extra bit of magic resist is going to be pretty huge up against Wings' draft right now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You also have the Blink Dagger initiation from the Batrider as well as the teleport from the Nature's Prophet, so arguably you don't necessarily need it as badly as you would otherwise.
Drag through. Shadow could be in some trouble here, will go down. Bear doesn't end up getting killed off, so at least that's no more gold going the way of the Batrider, but he does end up landing a killing spree, and that's going to be 450 gold right in his pockets. And Batrider here, he's super rich. He's picked up the Boots of Travel, and he's sitting on another 800 gold on top of that.
Yeah, that was a huge kill. Killing the laundry pretty much always is going to put a stop on what Wings is trying to do. They went for the smoke play, but losing the laundry instantly there, just like instantly backing up because he's so much of the net worth, he's so much of that damage with the early radiance that they need him to take any kind of fight. And if they can kill the laundry first in the fights, they are pretty much free to do whatever they want for the duration of laundry being dead. They also have a decent kill potential on the bear, for example, having the Desolator on the Weaver. The swarm from the Weaver is insanely annoying for a lone druid player because you can't back it up to the hero once while the bug is hitting it, and obviously the Desolator damage together with the Vengeance aura from with the Wave of Terror from the Vengeful Spirit will make the lone druid's bad drop down pretty quickly, like all game long.
Alright, so looking at what the Legion Commander is offering here, she's offering Initiation, and she is getting dual wins, but most importantly, she has basically this big ol' second lockdown. It's a 4.5 or 4.75 second lockdown here, and that's going to be really big on heroes like a Weaver that you need to hold in one place. So who's Legion's ideal dual target?
He kind of wants to go on the Weaver, which is what he also opted to go for. They're popping that Blade Mail randomly in the mid lane, I guess. But with the Lincoln Sphere, with CTY playing a little bit defensively while he sees the Legion Commander around, it is going to be very, very difficult to pull off.
Oh, Bat Blink in! They are going to catch out Shadow here. The Bear doing some work. The Ravage comes out, just locking back the Radiant. They want some time just to focus on Shadow alone. It looks like, oh my god, the vacuum wall, the duel underneath, the Lion Finger, it's all coming out here, Wings. No holds barred. They're just getting everything. Not a whole lot of kills, but they effectively force back the entire lineup of Vici. They blast open this tier 2. They could look to push high ground as well. Flame Break comes out, but it's only going to buy them time. As Vici, they can't really fight right there. The Tidehunter, he died after spending Ravage. Vengeful Spirit died without getting that swap off, and Batrider, no lasso, no ultimates anywhere. Really successful fight from Wings.
That was a huge fight from Wings. I mean, they only used two kind of combos there from Wings. They used the ultimate from the Luna, and they used the vacuum combo from the Darkseer. Like, the Laundry died in the start, and they still managed to turn that fight around. They got the tower, and 2-for-1 is not a huge deal compared to what kind of huge combo they got, but they still got the tower, and they won the fight, which is obviously going to be great from Wings. We actually see the Luna opting to go for Refresher Orb as well, so they're continuing the path down this kind of meme way with the acronyms doing work. It has done a lot of work though. It is doing so much damage. It's like having a Mirana core where you have this kind of double stars on burst damage. It feels like much the same way with this ultimate coming out and just beaming everyone down to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, this Luna's going full utility. She's not going to be building up into that super, tanky core going Satanic or Butterfly or whatnot. She's going to be going in. Her ult is important in every single fight, so pick up the Ags, pick up the Refresher, and just get it done. You've got the Legion to frontline, you've got the Lone Druid for raw right-click damage, and, I mean, this big old core lineup from Wings may start to work, but they do have to start getting it online soon, as Vici still have a sizable net worth lead.
Yeah, they have all the Blink initiators up and ready, with the Darkseer having a Blink deck as well. They have the Vladimirs up on the Bear as well, so making it a little bit more tanky, a little bit harder to kill. The only notable thing actually is the Legion Commander hasn't been able to grab any more dual wins after the start, which is, as the game goes later, will be a problem because he has Blink Blade Mail. I cannot speak right now. And I mean, if you have this kind of build, you want to get dual victories. You really just want to build up that damage.
I mean, it's about the damage, but we talked about before, also just the lockdown here, because Vici, they've got a lineup that wants to be the initiators onto you. They want to go in with the Nature's Prophet aggressively. The Blink swap combos are going to be a great positioning tool. Obviously, the Ravage and the Lasso, definitely positioning dependent things, and there's going to be a big group up. Wings, they're sticking around. Do they have a smoke, or are they just buying time?
Well, they have the Refresher being picked up, so they're definitely trying to make some kind of big play here. I'm not sure what they're waiting for. I guess they were like, oh, can we smoke here? But maybe they don't have a smoke on them, so that's not going to be an option. They actually don't have a smoke available either, so they're just going to go for the big old style push and not going to worry too much about any fancy initiations. It is going to be very hard to push into the high ground though because of the Batrider, so they're just going to back themselves up for now. Roshan is a target that both teams is going to be looking to fight over soon, and I guess that's going to be the next fighting area, as both teams know it's up. The Treant spotting it out for the side of Vici Gaming. They're pushing out the top lane, preparing, and once they see someone rotate to the top lane, they're probably going to be looking to make some kind of play happen.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at this tiny little choke point of the Roche Pit, you want to favor Vici's lineup, as they have that lockdown with the Lasso, they've got that Tidehunter with the Ravage, but Wings have so much damage, and the thing is they have different places to cast that damage. It's not like they have to do a 4-on-1 strat. There's no one on Vici that costs them that much of a problem, so Wings, they can just kind of buddy up, everyone pick a target and go.
It's also a little bit awkward for them at this point because they want to go in the lone grid every single time. They want to kill the lone grid first, but at this point, I think you have to worry about the Luna. You have to start worrying about this Eclipse being used, and like because he can just target it on the whoever gets gone on, and then it's gonna start popping the damage out. So they ideally they want to start focusing the Luna, but he's always gonna be in the background. He's always gonna be just waiting for someone else to get initiated on, and then counter it with the Eclipse usage.
Alright, so we've got another Aegis here onto the Weaver, and that's pretty important. That means, once again, CTY has about 3 lives, and now with the BKB, gonna be very, very hard to get that bug in place, but the rest of Vici just not exactly that survivable. I mean, you've got ROTK who's tanky, but pretty much everyone else is an easy pick, and, well, Prophet, he's doing his own thing over here in the jungle, or rather the side area near the bottom lane, and rest of Vici group up. Do Vici look for team fights, or do they sit back and farm, or look for smokes and picks? Because it seems like the later this goes, the less it favors Vici's heroes.
I think at this point they're actually reaching the highest spike they're going to be in the game because they have the Aegis up, they have double Blink, double PKB being up, 1 on the Nature's Prophet, 1 on the Weaver, and also one being made on the Batrider. So they're trying to go for this kind of like, okay, you have a lot of magic damage, you have a lot of annoying spells, you have that Acronym's Luna, and they have the items to worry about this, that have the items to fight into this, and they're looking to use it because obviously Wings later on in the game, the Luna is starting to build more normal items with just like pure Reckley style, getting a BKB himself and all this good stuff. So Vici Gaming, they need to push that advantage.
Well, looks like Wings, they're going to be all rotating back to this high ground. There was some slow siege here from CTY doing a little bit of chip to this tower, getting about 2/3 health, and I mean, disengage, reset, they've got all their ultis up except for the Wrath of Nature up in 10 seconds, and Prophet enjoying being able to split push out this lane. He does have that TP up in 10 seconds, so maybe they look for something here, but there's going to be a big smoke initiation. Legion Commander is leading the way. She's got that Blink duel, she's got the Blade Mail. Smoke does pop, she goes in, she will get the duel onto the Vengeful Spirit. I think they just slap her down. Can they get in time, though? Looks like just no.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but you know, still getting the kill, so...
Why didn't they drop a Lucent Beam? They had the lockdown.
That's actually true. I guess they just expected it to be dead in time. I don't know, one of those small things. It was very close to the timing, so I guess this is, I mean, a small pick off. They didn't have to commit anything huge there, but definitely they could have secured the kill there and gotten a duel. It's going to be a little bit of a sad Legion Commander going away without a duel on the support hero, but you know that happens once in a while, I guess.
Yeah, and again, the lockdown was there, and it did force back all of Vici, so Wings feel safe going back, pushing out, resetting, and they only dropped the duel for that. The rest of the ultis are still online.
Yeah, they didn't commit much for that, and the duel will be available in a few seconds again, so it's not something to worry too much about. They are getting a lot of utility items on the heroes as well. The Doxy going for 4-star as well, so like they're really focusing on being able to go on to Vici Gaming and trying to get a fight started.
Oh, they're gonna go back through this time, just full Eclipse dropped out. They've got the refresher. Are they going to dump it again here as the Weaver, he goes through, he's BKB'd. It's the first BKB of the game. It's going to be super, super long. Now Innocence will end up going down here. Just too much raw damage from the Weaver. The vacuum wall doesn't connect as everyone is going to be BKB'd up. But, you know, just... walls look pretty. Nice interior decorating here. And there is going to be Sylar going down, taking a lot of damage. A secondary Eclipse from the Luna does end up getting the job done. Oh, the damage coming out. Weaver is able to time-lapse back off again. Still sitting on the Aegis if it goes south. There is going to be a little bit of a flame break coming back through as CTY stuck in place, rooted up, goes in for this Kuchi, but they will end up popping the Aegis. Do they have any more lockdown, or do they just leave the Weaver there for the second life? Oh, blink back in. HYM once more here, but there's going to be no lockdown. No lasso there, and okay. They will get the kill onto the Legion, maybe. Oh, the Savage Roar saves her life. She's going to limp back to base with the negative urn, but she will end up alive. The bear sitting there as a zoning tool. The swarm is popped out, but Legion able to juke it away. It's going to be a 2-for-3 trade as Wings, they find what they want. It costs them 2 Luna ults, but in the end, they do end up getting a bunch of blood.
That was actually huge for Wings, especially because both of the BKBs were used that they had the Aegis on the side of Vici Gaming, so still losing that fight. That's just well played by Wings. They waited out for the BKBs to end, kept the Luna alive for the duration, and then you saw the secondary all being popped. Instantly, more people died. And also beautiful initiation to start off with, focusing down the Titan, using the duel there, and not letting him be able to use the Ravage in the fight is a huge thing for Wings.
Alright, so, I mean, Wings, they've got some time to reset here. There is still that decent-sized cooldown on Eclipse, so waiting this out another minute shouldn't hurt them too bad as Legion Commander. She did pick up that Desolator, now sitting on another 500 gold. What's her next pick?
The Legion Commander with that kind of gold, actually I don't know, well he picked up the Desolator actually, so just raw damage. And the other heroes, we have the Assault Caress coming out on the Lone Druid, we have the Let's see, we have the Luna. I don't know what Luna is going to go for at this point. I mean, he's been building something I would never expect so far, so I'm not going to be able to call too much of.
It's time for Luna to pick up a brand new build. Let's break some new territory here. Let's get 3 Battle Furies.
I mean, I expected to just go for no. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I was gonna be like, oh, I expect to go for BKB, and he's bought a Ghost Scepter. So I'm not saying anything anymore. I'm
Is
done.
that gonna be a casual Ghost Scepter, or are we gonna see Ethereal Luna?
It's actually probably going to be an Ethereal Limit, not to be kidding around, because like the Ghost Scepter is great, so he can't get killed by the CTY Weaver. CTY Weaver is obviously going to try and target him down whenever he can. The Ethereal Blade will be like boost the damage of the Lunar Beams, so it is most likely going to be that kind of thing we will see happening.
Someone call PETA here as this bear is the target of a 3-man rotation, goes in with the Savage War, but eventually the 300 gold does fall the way of CTY, and he's going to be spiraling now. He has picked himself up a Diffusal Blade. What do you think of that pick on the Weaver as opposed to going for just raw right-click?
The Diffuser Blade, it gives him some nice damage to most of the heroes. The slow is pretty good against both the bear as well as pretty much, well, honestly, a lot of the heroes. They have the Surge that you can diffuse away, which is a great tool. I like it. It gives him some good damage. It's a nice agility item, so he just needs damage at this point, honestly. He has the Linkins, he has the BKB. More survivability is not something you want as a Weaver. Like, maybe you want a heart at some point, but that's pretty much going to be it. Like, apart from that, he just wants raw damage. And obviously, the Ghost Set on the Luna that he has spotted out, he's going to be able to take that Ghost Set usage away, which is, once again, like we talked about, he wants to be able to kill the Luna, and the Diffusal Blade is going to make him able to do that.
Alright, so, is Luna that big of a deal? Because she's gone in, she's feast or famine. Either she doesn't drop a combo or she drops 2 ults in a row and just sprays damage every which way. And with this Ethereal, she's gonna hurt, man. That ult is gonna be absolutely vicious. If she gets that Ethereal onto a big target, like a Tide, if they lock him down early, then goodbye. One ulti will just rip him to shreds.
I mean, you saw him die in like 2 seconds from the normal ultimate. It wasn't level 16 either, so now it's being a level 16 ultimate. If you get that Ethereal Blade online, he's like, there's no one that's going to be able to survive that.
Alright, so let's look at the overall net worth splits here. Weaver actually sitting on top, keeping pace with the Lone Druid, and I mean, Lone Druid picking up some nice items here. Has the AC on the bear, the Vlads, the Midas, the Radiance, very typical, but Weaver is still stacked. Is going to be sitting at 805. We haven't really talked about how the fact that CTY 1 kill away from going godlike, but on the flip side, that does mean if Weaver dies, a huge bounty is going to go to one of Wing's cores.
Yeah, it is kind of like the flavor of this Weaver in this situation, because it's very hard for them to kill him. They only have the Lion who can actually reliably stun him, and having the Lincoln Sphere up makes it even hard for the Lion to do anything against him. So he's having a free roam, he's having a good time, he's not able to get killed that easily. The Nature's Prophet as well has been using a lot of time just pushing out waves, had that early Midas from the jungle situation, so he's farmed as well. That being said though, Wings, they have 3 courses pretty much being on the same situation. The Legion Commander has dropped down a little bit, but he's slowly beginning to get these damage items up and running. So I guess, I mean, unless the Weaver is going to go completely crazy at some point, get a heart, then it's still going to be hard for him to pull off, but he is ahead so far, and he's going to be a problem to deal with. It's going to be very hard to kill him, that's for sure.
Alright, so Wings, where's their next fight going to be? Did they wait out the Aegis here, or rather the Roshan? It's going to be a decently long Roshan. Ooh! And reveals the Legion illusion here, and it will be pinged out from Vici, so maybe they rotate resources for this. It'll be a big commitment for not a whole lot of reward.
That's actually going to mind game Vici Gaming a little bit. They're probably going to just, yeah, they're looking to just sit on the high ground waiting for the smoke to come in, as they expect the full smoke gang to be there, and now they're pinging out like everywhere. They're like, okay, what's going on? Where are they? And so it's going to be setting them back a little bit, but as like CTY is still going to be able to farm, so it's not too much of a worry. It's only going to set them back a couple of seconds, but you know, in the meantime, Wings getting their farm, Wings just trying to finish the next set of items. As I don't know, man, they're still needing something like the Blink Bag on the line, which is one concern. The line has not been able to get too much this game, hasn't been able to get any kills so far. You know, the support, the pro support getting no kills in this game, like any support should do.
This Luna build is so quirky to me, and we saw the Luna picked up in the draft and we're like, oh, they're running a big old core lineup, but she's building full utility, and like...
We were wrong.
Wrong. Is that like gonna be enough? When is her peak here? Is she at her peak? Does she carry well into the late game? Because a typical Luna who goes for a Satanic and a BKB and a Butterfly and whatnot, she gets huge in the late game, but I don't even know how this build scales.
I mean, she's gone full in on this kind of like this like slightly memey build, or slightly like magic heavy build at least. She has these 3 items. After that, she's most likely gonna be doing like if Morphling would do, like going for the right click items, going for the survivability with the BKB. But that being said, there's 3 BKBs up on Vici Gaming, so this combo is gonna be at least easy for Vici Gaming to play around for the first like 10-ish seconds with the BKB timings. And it's about Wings, like, can they survive for that long? Can they survive for the BKBs to run out and then just destroy them with this combo?
Alright, so is this gonna be like a 90-minute back and forth game where no one can break high ground, or are we gonna start to see a spiral in either favor pretty soon?
I expect Vici Gaming to still be the ones on the aggressive side. They're still looking for targets, and they want to kill this lone dude especially, because that's gonna be the thing opening them up to make some pushes happen. 90-minute game, I don't know, man. Both lineups have some nice calls. They have dual call lineups on both teams with the Weaver and the Nature's Prophet on one side, and now once again claiming the third Roach of this game, as they've been very like Vici Gaming has been doing this nicely. They've been claiming every single Roach so far, and that's been like one thing that's repeatedly gone in their favor.
Yeah, but Wings have made themselves some space around the map here. They do go through, they clear out this tier 2, as before, and now there's no exterior towers, and Wings, in order to go high ground, they need picks first, but like you mentioned, Vici are going to be on the offensive, so I think what Wings have to do is wait till Vici make a team fight, capitalize on mistakes, pick out a few kills, and then go high ground, and that means Wings are impatient. They're sitting back, they're waiting for this to happen, they're getting their farm, but they're going to be the ones reacting to what Vici put out. So if Vici play this flawlessly, I don't know if Wings find their window.
Yeah, it's gonna be all about who gets the jump, and as you said, Vici Gaming is the ones who have a little bit of a bit easier time to get an initiation off with the Bad Rider, with RTK on the Tidehunter, and then now they're actually gonna just, you know, walk down mid, go for the push, trying to make the Wings react to them, and you're gonna see something big happen here soon.
Well, hopefully, as there is going to be the Blink duel again available from the Legion, and oh, there's going to be the Wave of Terror getting some vision onto the high ground. They do scout out the lone Druid there, but they don't see Ice on the back lines. It's like Vici, they go in, they get some slow siege there with the Weaver, they back off, they reset. As Wings, they don't want to be too trigger happy, because if they go in and take a poor fight, Vici win right away. They've got so much push with that Weaver Deso.
Yeah, they have the Lincoln Sphere on the Weaver, they have the Aegis on the Weaver, they even have a swap available if things go completely wrong, so it's very hard to go on the CTY Weaver. They want to grab someone on the back lines if they actually want to go on something, and it's just hard to happen. It's like having a life that goes in, pops this rage, and then you're just like, okay, we have magic damage against a magic immune hero, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I'm not sure here. We've, again, got Bat Rider with his full kit at the ready. He's got another 1,000 gold. What luxury item does he look for here?
On who?
Bat Rider.
Oh, the Bat Rider. Well, with the BKB being up, honestly, something like a Hex is the most normal thing to go for. As at this point, you have your kind of like, I guess, set items, and you just want to go for either more damage with something like a Shiva's Guard or just control. And a Hex would be a nice tool to at least hex the Legion Commander off when he tries to go for a duel, not letting him get any duel damage, go on the Luna as well, abusing the fact that he doesn't have a BKB, and actually none of them having a BKB on that team. That's probably going to be the biggest item they can get.
Look at the disparity in net worths here. We've got Innocence sitting rock bottom here, 2,200 net worth in this 40-minute game, and then the Weaver with 22,000 net worth. This could be the fight here on the high ground. They are going to go through. They get the drag out. There's going to be a Ravage as well. Oh, just melt from the Legion. She doesn't have buyback. She dies with duel on off cooldown. That's going to be huge. There will be a blink back up from the Darkseer. He's not looking to give anything away, as that was such a detrimental loss from Wings. That's a huge part of their lockdown, the Legion duel, and that's completely gone. And this could be the window for BG to get in and blast this down. The Bear will end up going through. It's going to be a nice vacuum wall, but the BKBs all just dump out as Ice getting munched down. Won't have a chance to go in. Doesn't able to use that Ethereal Blade as he's fresh out of mana. Dead Luna. No buyback there. The Bear. This is going to be the second respawn on the Bear. This Bear goes down, and Loud Lone Druid might be up a creek without a paddle. Doesn't have that respawn for 100 seconds. I think Vici just blasted this game wide open, and the GG will be called. Wings, they had such a crazy potential to take this late game, but in the end it came down to them not having the initiation point, and Vici able to go in, slow siege, huge control from that Weaver. Great playing all around, and I bet you're excited for game 2, Mad Kings.
I am very excited for game two, man. Honestly, Vici Gaming just playing around with the initiation. Wings having the problem that they were facing BKBs with this kind of combo play, so they can't just like deathball go in and jump them because they're just gonna pop BKBs and nothing happened. So they had to be on the reactionary side, waiting for Vici Gaming to do something. And like you said, getting a good pick off in the start, getting the back kill, and then getting the back kill a second time just with the pure burst they have. When you have a ban cooldown for 100 seconds, when you have a person who's dead as well, like there's nothing that can stop VG Gaming from just pushing. They even had the Aegis already, and they had lost no one. So well played by them.
Absolutely. And again, that was only game number one. I cannot wait to see what we're in store for game number two between Wings and Vici. This is going to be the English coverage of the Dota 2 Professional League group stages. I'm Annie. That's Mad Kings. Our Twitter handles are over there on the right side of the stream. We're going to throw you back to the match screen, so stick around for game number two. Sure to be a good one.